Hey crypto YouTubers, this is coinpicker.us, and today I have a real treat for you, for everybody, the people who are just watching this on YouTube, and then for my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to my service, I encourage you to go to coinpicker.us right here and just go ahead and sign up right there. It takes 2 seconds. I don't even send a confirmation email, and I only send you market updates when it's important. But today is really big presentation. It's probably going to be about an hour long. You'll probably get about 10 to 15 minutes of it on YouTube, where I'm going to cover the big crypto market trends, short and long term, and then the EOS long term picture. And then for the subscribers, they're going to get a lot more detail in the profitable areas in cryptos and financials, and some immutable trends to profit from. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Coinpicker.us here again, and I'm going to go over the crypto market trends, short and long term. And there really hasn't been that much. I mean, I know the market's been shaking, rattling, and rolling on the low end, but in terms of the bigger picture, it hasn't changed that much. But I'm going to go through some of the nuances of where to find the profitable trades, even in this down market. Now, just for those of you that have not seen some of my presentations or anything, I mean, I've got a fair amount of stuff to go over here that I would say will leave all of you, whoever's watching, with enough information to orient yourself for a profitable year and then a profitable long term. And that's really the name of the game. I'm going to say some things that I think you'll find surprising, especially for the subscribers, but some of those who are not subscribers, before I get there, you're going to be a little bit shocked that somebody who is primarily focused on cryptos is going to talk the way I talk. It's the same thing when I said early on, hey, it's time to jump out of the market right now because it's flying too high, it's going to drop. And that was around $750 billion, and the market, of course, hasn't been there for quite a while. So I'm not a crypto investment promoter, but I am a crypto promoter, meaning cryptocurrencies are the wave of the future, the blockchain is the wave of the future, and we all want to be a part of it. But I'm not the one who's going to cheerlead and say that it's, cryptos are just going to go to the moon. I've never been that way. As soon as they get close to the moon or even look like they're, right at that level, I say sell. And that's what I did. So we're going to talk a little bit more realistically than most other. Then we're going to talk about the EOS long term. As a lot of you know, I've been heavily involved with EOS and invested in it, and where that's going to go and why it still is a unique opportunity. Then in the subscribers only portion, I'm going to get into a bit more granular detail on the crypto space, then into the financials, which a lot of the crypto people aren't even interested in. But I don't look at investing as well. It's got to be in the crypto space. I look at investing as let's find the best opportunity. And if it happens to be in the crypto space, wonderful. Let's learn everything we can about it. Let's become an absolute expert and navigate those rough waters, which is what I did for a long time. Now I realize that there are some opportunities that surpass what's going on in the crypto space, because the crypto space has some backing and filling to do, which is what we'll talk about. And then I'm going to talk about what I'll call immutable trends to profit from. These are trends that technology isn't going to make a difference. Politics will not make a difference. You can take it to the bank that these are the trends that are going to rule the rest of our lives. Very powerful concept, because when you can get out in front of trends like that, you don't have to be concerned that you're riding a wave that's going to crash right away. You're going to be involved in something that continually builds in popularity, continually builds in profit, continually builds in importance, and that's what we all want. So let's get on with it. We'll start with the crypto market trends, short and long term. And I realize a lot of you might not be able to see these things, so I'm just going to talk you through them. Now let's just take a look at the crypto space right now. Now I've got it oriented for the highest risers. So you can still see there's some activity. 20% is nothing to sneeze at, but in terms of low percentage, we're at the we've got some pretty bad performers as well. But generally speaking, the crypto market is bottomed, more or less. It's not, and I'm not saying that we're at a definitive bottom, but we're trolling along the bottom. Because if you look at the big picture on the charts, and I'm going to use Bitcoin here as a just a proxy. If you look at the big picture on the charts, and let's take maybe a 3-month rate, 3-month time frame. What happened was we were trundling along, and actually it should be a little bit lower. We should have hit a 64. It's maybe granularly it doesn't show it here, but we hit around 64.48. I remember talking about it, and it might have even been a little earlier. But we hit around 64.48, had a sharp reversal, and more or less continued up to a pretty nice run. I mean, you're looking at knocking on 50% growth. Fantastic. Now we've got the reversal, and we blew through the earlier resistance. We didn't stay there long, but notice the difference here. Notice the difference between how quickly this reversed, how quickly that reversed. That's basically a vertical climb as to what's happening here. We're barely trundling up. It shows there's not a lot of market dynamism to power us higher. It has me suspicious that we will be able to hold significantly above this level or move up significantly higher, blow through 7, blow through 8, that kind of a thing. I can see it happening later on, but not generally during the summer months. So that gets to the heart of the matter. So basically we're in a consolidation and accumulation period short term. If you have some positions and you want to raise some funds, you can do it now. I would say later on you'll probably get a slightly higher price, but you're probably going to have to wait a period of time because the 5,900 level looks to be the lower bound for Bitcoin, and generally speaking, the market obviously is trapped in Bitcoin's wake. So you don't have an awful lot more lower to go, but the upside momentum is not showing strong reversal potential. So you could be trundling around here for quite a while. There are some exceptions to this. There are some outperforming projects, and we'll talk about that. So if you hold some of these outperforming projects, EOS is slightly outperforming, Mithril slightly outperforming, 0x had been outperforming, Ziliqua, however you pronounce it, outperforming some of them. But by and large, you're going to be, in my opinion, stuck in the lower bound. Now, if we take a look at some of the charts to back this up, let's go to TradingView and see how let's take a week-long or month-long view on Bitcoin and see where that's going to lead us. Because basically we took a lot of technical damage. If we had held above, and I had mentioned, so on a daily basis, yeah, we're going to recoup. It looks like we're in the middle of recouping some, but it's not. Yeah, on a weekly basis, we're not at a point where we're strongly reversing at all. So there is potential for downside. On a monthly basis, as I've been talking about, we do have the reversal in play. It looks like it's ready to go, but the CCI still says it's over. It's not overbought, but it's within the normal trending range. So we don't have every signal aligned for a major up leg at all. So I know this isn't great news for everybody, but I'm here for a realistic interpretation, not just a blind rah-rah of the Bitcoin world. Now let's take a look at EOS versus Bitcoin. EOS had a little bit of a hiccup with its mainnet, but they got through it. On a weekly basis, it looks like it's just going to trend slightly lower, if anything. And on a daily basis, it looks like it's trying to recoup, but not very aggressively. And we still have sellers in control, and we are in a trending zone. We don't, it's not a sharp. There's not a sharp amount of energy for a major upside reversal, especially with the general market doldrums. So EOS isn't going to surprise massively to the upside either. At least that's what it looks like on the charts. So short-term consolidation accumulation period. If you are of the opinion, as am I, that we will see an up leg because of some institutional investors, you can certainly jump in at this time and just pick up, relative bargains. But watch your back. Watch the stochastic indicators. Watch volume indicators so that you're not caught in what could be a down leg again. That's just the fact. Could be another down leg. So we're not at all free and clear for a major upside move. And before, when we'd hit 64.48, I had said we are clear for an upside move, and that was the beginning of the move up to 10,000. I do not see us being straight clear for an upside move. So as far as institutional money, we've heard it talked about over and over again. I wanted to get granular on it. We have ETFs, exchange traded funds, exchange traded notes. ETFs are a little bit better to the investor than ETNs, but they'll look a lot of the same. And then we, of course, I have to put also Bitcoin in IRA in there as well. We have CoinExBit, and a lot of these are trading on Gibraltar or foreign exchanges and not necessarily trading on the U.S. I'm not even so certain that Coin is actually approved, come to think of it. But here are some of the ones that are out there. I, of course, don't recommend ETFs for anybody trading cryptos because it takes away all of your capabilities with crypto. And you lose funds and a bunch of other stuff. But the key thing is the fact that these exist allow institutional money and other people who wish to jump into the crypto space to do so on a much larger scale. As you can tell by the names, they're primarily oriented towards the top tier, Bitcoin, Litecoin, maybe Ethereum, maybe Bitcoin Cash. Some people Dash, a couple things, but they're the top tier. Now, there are some other hedge funds that I don't have, and there are too many to list, that are involved in the lower tier in the altcoin currencies. So the entire market will eventually benefit. But we're still at I think 240 billion. I want to just double check my numbers here. What's the total market cap now? 280 billion. Okay, so that can soak up a fair amount of investment money, because I don't think anyone's going to come in with, they're not going to come in with CalPERS bond funds. That's not the kind of money we're going to see. We're going to see highly speculative hedge funds, highly speculative ETFs go into the space, and those are going to be in the tens and hundreds of millions to occasionally a billion, a couple of billion. I don't think we're going to see, $100 billion fund or $50 billion fund jump in necessarily to the crypto space. But nonetheless, it is supportive of the market, and I think that is what we'll expect to see somewhat at the tail end of the year and probably going into 2019, and that's where we will get more of a liftoff. Now, I want to talk about something that's related to the institutional money entering. And I've talked about this before. Some of you are familiar with it, but I feel like I'm the lone wolf out here in the crypto space discussing this. And it is this: those people who cheer that, yay, crypto space is being regulated by the SEC and the CFTC, and we're going under FINRA and KYC and AML and FATCA, which is what we all have to do now with Coinbase and CoinMama and whoever else you have to deal with, Gemini, whatever platform. Who else? Poloniex. All of these platforms now are putting us under the gun for identification and taking away the primary feature of cryptocurrencies. The reason Bitcoin gained so much value, the reason it gained so many adherents, and the main reason that Bitcoin rose from a pizza ordering joke to becoming a $6,000, $7,000, or $19,000 potential currency competitor. And that was the potential for anonymity and to get out from under the burden of modern totalitarian financial regulation. Of course, they'll claim, yes, we're all drug dealers, we're all dealing in horrible images, and we're all doing everything illegal according to them, and they want to regulate us and tax us and hold on to our money every way, shape, and form and control us entirely. I mean, just this past week I had a card with plenty of money on it declined because, I'd gone to too many places in one day, or it was rejected. It's my money. I can do what I want with it, not according to the bank. So anyway, most crypto supporters, and I mean, I could name almost all these channels, who like Crypto News is one, multiple channels. In fact, I'm going to list some of them. A guy who I actually like, Coin Mastery, fantastic guy, very, very wonderful guy. Seems like does a fair job of reporting on the crypto space. I don't always agree with him. Sometimes does some reasonable technical analysis, and yet, he's a supporter of this, as are many of the other ones. I am 100% against government interference in anything having to do with crypto. It's too late. I recognize that. The horse is out of the barn. But I'm just saying, for those of you who are watching, that realize what this does. Ultimately, it slits the throat of the crypto space, because all the cryptos become nothing more than just a nice little application. That's it. If they're all under the boot print, get rid of that. If you're all under the boot print of government, or the boot of government regulation, then all they are is just a decentralized application with a blockchain technology. It's just an iteration beyond multiplied servers or duplicate servers. That's all that is. That's it. The real reason that these cryptocurrencies gained value, the real reason, was that there was this cost of freedom that was now being liberated, or I should say the price of freedom, meaning the taxation, the restrictions, the lack of speed, the control, everything was now released, and that created value around the cryptocurrencies. That's why a Monero became important once Bitcoin was easily, discerned to be easily tracked. Zcash, PIVX, all these began to get value, and people realized, wow, I can transact with this without the government spying on me. And depending on what business you're in, it could be selling electronic cigarettes, it could be selling hemp, or cannabis oil, or it could be selling firearms, or whatever it is. Multiple banks are now trying to shut those down, and have been. And PayPal and Squarespace and all of these, is it Squarespace? No, Stripe. That's what I was thinking of. All of these bank-like entities, want to shut these businesses down. So cryptocurrencies potentially offered a way around that, and that is being withdrawn because of the cheerleading going on for the SEC, FINRA, all that stuff. So if any of you are out there, don't know about it, don't realize how detrimental it is, it's practically a death knell. It can practically be a death knell. We need the cryptocurrencies, and fortunately, there are still plenty of cryptos that can be used with direct transactions without, easy tracking. However, those cryptos don't translate back to fiat very easily at all. That's the issue. So, there's a positive and a negative to it. The positive is, yes, it may bring in some extra money. Great. The negative is you lose your freedom, basically. You lose your freedom of being able to transact privately. So I don't want to hammer that too much. Obviously, I'm a little bit excited about it. But basically, the more just like a bank cryptos become and behave, the less important the technical advances. You follow? The less they really are valuable, because the same fees will apply, the same restrictions will apply, the same loss of freedom. Okay, enough. Now moving on. If we had a really powerful bull market right now, this very minute, we would have rocked back up off the lows. I've seen multiple markets like that. We're not. All we're doing is trundling at the same level. So it's going to be a longer term before we get a major uptrend. And it's not unexpected. It's not unexpected because we're in the summer and you don't get a lot of barn burner to the upside. You get it to the downside during the summer, but not to the upside, which I will cover later because there's some really great investing opportunities. There is one thing that is distinctly possible. In fact, we should check it today. Let's see what the DXY index looks like, because the euro is nosediving. Yeah, I like this one. Because the euro is nosediving, it's quite possible that... All right, so it's jumped up a little. It's actually jumped up quite a bit. It took a major hit the other day. But longer term, I still say the US dollar index has a major downside to it. And that's important for Bitcoin holders and crypto space, because as I've pointed out in the past, the cryptos are somewhat of an inverse of the dollar. Not entirely, but in a longer term trend, they do. They have that. So with this uptrend in the dollar, we're naturally suffering in the crypto space. But I don't expect this uptrend to last. I think I could see towards the end of this year or something like that, the dollar dropping significantly and continuing to drop for quite a while. And that is going to help lift up the dollar big time. Now, if you were to check cryptocurrency valuations in Venezuela and Argentina and Turkey and a number of these countries, you would find that they've been in a massive bull market even while we've been suffering. So the dollar is harming our crypto returns. Any other currency shows that. And that's one big aspect that needs to be considered. All right. The other thing is there are some aspects of the crypto market that are going to outperform, and they are the 3 Ps. I call those path to profit projects. So path to profit projects, which would include like a Populous, a Binance to a certain extent, Economy, and some other ones. I detail that later, but path to profit projects are number one because you get a return no matter what. Even if the crypto market keeps dropping, you're getting a return. And that return, by the way, is pretty significant relative to the entire financial sphere. Privacy projects are doing slightly better than the general market. That would be Zcash, a Monero, PivX, a Dash, and several ones like that. Bitcoin Private. Counterfangs. Counterfangs, what are fangs? Facebook, Amazon, Netflix. Anything that's stepping in that space, not so much Amazon, but Facebook, like anything going after Facebook's pie, like a Mithril, is doing well. Ones like a Netflix, like could be a Viewly, is going to do well. Google is a BAT, Basic Attention Token, is doing well. So, and some platforms are also doing well. That is where you will find the outperformance in the crypto space. Like if you check it today, I'm almost running out of time here. That's not the one I wanted. Let's see here. Let's look at coin market cap here really quickly because I'm almost out of time here. And you'll see, okay, Mithril is one, Basic Attention Token. This is an example of what I'm talking about. These are, and buy time is essentially a sort of optimized platform. Binance Coin is path to profit. PivX is privacy. So you see what I'm talking about. These are up on down days. And that's showing you the outperformance I'm referring to. So that's where you'll get outperformance. Okay. That gives you a bit of a picture of where we are in the short trend on the cryptos. And let's take a look now at EOS long-term picture. Is really critical because I think EOS may be one of those cryptos that you can just hold and hold and hold and just watch it rise, generally speaking, and that's really positive. I'm going to take some water here. All right.